Hope we are all doing well. This morning's stream is going to be reflecting on the game yesterday where Luton picked up a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough. Unfortunately, we didn't walk away with the 3 points. We weren't clinical in front of goal. But at least we haven't lost a game of football because most of the time we are losing. But we didn't lose yesterday, which is a good thing. I know lots of people are not happy about yesterday because it was a good opportunity for us to, walk away with the 3 points, but certain players weren't clinical in front of goal, and we should have walked away with a 3-0 win. In my match reaction, I tried my best not to. You can't hear my mic, George? Oh, what? Why can't you hear my mic? Can you hear me now? Am I a lot louder? Oh, why do I always have to... Oh, okay, you can hear me now. Oh, why? So frustrating. Right, let me turn this right up. Oh, I was on a roll there, doing my intro, and you couldn't even hear me. These technical faults during these live streams. I don't think I'm going to do a live stream without a technical fault. This is really frustrating. But anyway... Luton 0, Middlesbrough 0. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know if you've got any questions involving Luton or to myself. And we can answer them in today's morning live stream. I'm going to be live streaming for 1 hour. And then I need to leave my flat. I need to go to the gym. I need to wake up because I'm still not awake. And then I'm going to enjoy a afternoon full of football, which starts with the Sheffield derby, then it moves on to Arsenal v Chelsea, then it moves on to the League Cup between Liverpool and Newcastle, and then in the evening I'm going to be watching Leicester versus Manchester United. 4 games of football. What more could you want? And hopefully I see some good stuff. You can hear me perfect, fantastic. Morning, Mick, how are you doing? The graphics look much better now. Thank you. Slowly, they are going to get better. Slowly as well, I am going to improve the actual quality of the stream. So, I got a new camera, which is voila. But with this camera, what I've realised is when I start filming it, it takes out, so as you can see, I've got frames all here, yeah? So when I record with this brand new camera, it takes all that out, so you only see the scarves behind me. So I'm 50-50 whether or not I actually use this new camera. But I feel like I've got to use the new camera because I've just paid loads of money for it. And the reason why I needed a new camera was because this is my old one, very similar to what the new one is. But this one, I can show you, is kind of falling apart. And I'm keeping it together by Blue Tack. That's why I needed a new one. Also, the focus on this camera in my old place just kept going in and out. So a lot of times I was just not in focus and it didn't matter what I was doing to the settings. So I needed a new camera, I needed something different, got something different, but then I found a webcam. So while I was moving house, I found up this webcam which I had years ago. It can shoot in high quality condition. It has its moments, like the lighting isn't the best and I need to get better lighting. That's going to be my next step. But it's not too bad. It's still decent quality. Look, there's sometimes moments where it kind of flickers on and off strangely. But I'm going to work with it and see what I can do. But I feel like the background which I use now is a lot better than what it used to be. So I might stick with this. But then I've just bought a £500 camera. So it's a decision which I need to make. How are you doing, mate? Love these Sunday morning lives. Sheffield derby soon. And you are very nervous. I would say the word you've used, but just in case YouTube PG me or, strike me, I don't want to use bad language. But I can understand your feeling. I'm going to miss the first 15 minutes of the Sheffield derby because I'm going to be at the gym. but I will be listening to the first 15 minutes in the car because I need to get a gym session in just before the game starts to set me up for the day, as I'm going to be sitting in this chair watching the football on my monitor, and I'm going to be playing Football Manager all day. But I do also need to make a video. I also need to do my 5 things which we learn from the game against Middlesbrough, and I'm struggling to pick out 5 things because apart from talking about the lack of not being able to, take your chances, and also talking about Elijah Alibeo yet again, and also talking about Alfie Doughty, because I feel like we have to talk about Alfie because his performances recently haven't been good enough. I'm missing 2 more points which I don't know what to talk about. I might talk about how good defensively we were, but I feel like that's just a cheap point to bring up. Mick, you've put we should have been 3 up at half time. I agree. I can't believe we weren't 3 up at half time. I've actually watched the chances back. I don't know how Asgard missed that first one. I think he had a player just behind him that was putting him off, but I don't know how he didn't score that one. And then Elijah, how he missed that chance. It's typical with him. He's just low confidence. It's doing my nerves now because it's just costing us games. But then Asgard again, that volley straight at the goalkeeper, either side of the goalkeeper, that goes in, you're celebrating. And then Elijah had like another one, which was like, who could get there first, him or the Middlesbrough player? Oh, it's so frustrating. And then in the second half, McGuinness had that header, free header. If that was on target, it goes in. Nordas had a chance as well. Oh, it's frustrating. It really is. And Ed pretty much said what I've just said. We can't put our chances away. It just shows that staying up is not looking likely. And if you don't win games of football, you don't stay up. And it's as simple as that. I know people want to be positive, but if we can't score goals, like easy chances as well, like we had against Middlesbrough, we can't keep scoring like 30 yards, well not 30 yards, but we can't score volleys from outside the box every single week. It's not doable, it's not possible. Well, it probably is possible, but it's not likely going to happen. We can't ask Jordan Clark to score those volleys every week, so these players have got to step up. And what's really frustrating me is, these strikers are proven at this level. Elijah's hit double figures in the Championship. Morris has hit double figures in the Championship. Brown has scored goals here. Of course, there's still question marks over Nordas, whether we know if he can cut it at this level. We've got Clark, who's having his best, attacking output for Luton this year. We can't just rely on Clark to score the goals in the midfield. Kraus got a couple before he left. So we need someone like Walsh to score. We need Alfie to score. We need Isaiah Jones to score. McGuinness, he's been scoring a few goals from defence, but we need the other centre-halves to score. We need more people stepping up and scoring for us. And Neil, you've put, I don't think Adebayo could score if he had 4 legs. I don't even think he knows where his legs are. Every time I watch him play, he's the most unpredictable player, but I think he's unpredictable because I don't think he knows where to position his body. And he just spins around, and I think he tricks the defender because he's tricking himself. So what he's trying to do doesn't actually pull off, but it pulls off, and then he gets these chances. What I find absolutely baffling is Elijah gets the chances, but Morris doesn't. Morris gets the half chances. It should be the other way round. Why can't Morris have these clear-cut chances? Because on paper, Morris is more clinical. He's proven that, but he's not getting these chances. Just booked hotel away for Derby. Could be a huge game. Hopefully someone will start taking the chances again. I hope so as well. I'm still 50-50 on Derby. It's looking more likely that I will go if we definitely are in the mix of staying up. I don't think it'd be done and dusted by the time we play Derby, so there might be something to play for. And they've won 3 games in a row, by the way. They're on, the momentum's high, confidence is high. Blackburn have not done us a solid. They've lost against all the sides that we needed them to win against. Stoke, Derby, and also Cardiff. So frustrating. It is so frustrating. Good morning all. Woke up this morning feeling not fine. I've got those misses on my mind. Good chant. But yeah, those misses. Frustrating. Danny, who is a member on the channel, has said, staying up or going down. Right now, Danny, it's going down. I've still accepted it. I've still have accepted that we are going to be playing League One football next year. Until we win more games, until we show a little bit more. That game against Cardiff, we were taking the right steps forward. And even against Middlesbrough, I know we didn't win, but at least we were taking the right steps forward. The only thing we're missing now is that final bit, which is being clinical in front of goal. And once that final piece of that jigsaw, it comes together, you like to think we'll start winning games, we'll start tearing teams apart, but until we start putting the ball in the back of the net, it's not going to happen, is it? But yeah, I think we're going down until we change that. It's a shame, really, because we had so much confidence after Cardiff, and then we needed to back it up against a Borough side that had an injury crisis in defence. I still think we can stay up as long as we don't lose any at all. Sorry, I'm half asleep. I still think we can stay up as long as we don't lose any at all, but we need to win at least 5 and draw the rest. Well, yeah, we need to. So we've got 8 games remaining. Even winning 4 games and getting 4 draws, that's still more than enough. Is it 8 games left or 9 games left? I think it's 8 games, yeah. With 4 wins, 4 draws, that should be enough. There's 20, isn't there 24 points to play for? So, we've got to just keep trying to figure out ways to win. And you think we've got to play Hull, Derby and Stoke. If you win those 3 games and then win 1 more against another side and then, get some good draws, should be enough. But Leeds at home coming up, that's going to be tough. That ain't going to be easy. As I said prior, we should keep Morris. He puts in a shift. He shows some fight. I actually think Morris has been okay. I say okay. I don't think his performances have been as bad as some of the other players. With Morris, he's not having the chances. He won an awful lot of headers yesterday. I want to actually have a quick look at the stats, actually. He won so many headers in the air. Let me have a quick look how many he won, because it was ridiculous. But the problem is, he was winning these headers and no one was around him to pick it up. So let's have a quick look at how many he won. So, stats, lineup. Morris. So Morris won the most amount of duels in the game with 15. How many did he win in the air? He won 12 out of 19 in the air. 63%. That is mental, by the way. Most of the time, defenders will win 80% of their headers, but he won 12 out of 19. That's quite impressive. If we can keep getting those chances, then surely we would get the goals, hopefully. That is what we're all hoping for. I feel sorry for Matt Bloomfield because, the players have got to step up. The players have got to do the final, bit, which is put the ball in the back of the net. He creates a game plan, an idea on how to win a game of football. We can't do everything right but the final bit. And it's so frustrating. And I'm going to sound like a parrot in this stream. But it's true. We should have scored. If QPR can get a draw against Leeds, I'm sure we could with the improvement. Flipping out. Get my words out. If QPR can get a draw against Leeds, then I'm sure we could with the improvements which we've seen so far. But the thing is with QPR, they were better than us. So it's alright saying, well, if QPR can do it, so can we. But we couldn't beat QPR. So it's alright saying that, but we've got to turn up. We've got to do that a little bit more because QPR, their game plan and their manager and their coaching staff, they've got some brains behind them. Really looking forward to the Sheffield Derby, though, I have to admit, which is the first game which I'm going to be watching today. And then after that, Arsenal v Chelsea. Some good games today. Don't know why Leicester v Manchester United is on at 7 o'clock. I guess people know about the viewing figures and what Manchester United bring. So, and there's lots of talk about them. But wow, those 4 games which I'm watching today, it's going to be full of entertainment. I'm not going to be anywhere near my girlfriend. My girlfriend's going to be like, "Why are you not chilling with me? I'm watching the football, darling. I'm playing Football Manager. Sorry, there's more important things to worry about. I can't wait." Missed goals aside, how did you rate the performance? I thought the performance was fantastic, Mick. I honestly thought the performance was brilliant. One of the best home performances we've seen all season. I can't be negative about any other thing apart from not put the ball in the back of the net. Honestly, it was brilliant. Defensively, great. The only time Borough looked like they could score against us was in the last 5-10 minutes. And the chances they were getting, they weren't on target anyway. We restricted them to not having a single shot on target. So you have to, praise the defence. And then also how we were doing it out of possession. The press, the amount of turnovers we were doing. Outstanding. Really, really good performance. We just let ourselves down in front of goal. League One will be a good league for Morris to get his confidence back. I don't want to even be thinking about League One. To be honest with you, I'll be really ruthless in the summer and let a lot of players leave the football club. There won't be many I would be keeping. I think we've got no choice to be ruthless. If Matt Bloomfield really wants to play a certain style of football, then he needs to be able to bring in players that can actually do it. And the only way that can happen is if you get rid of the players that can't do it. So he needs to assess which players that can actually play his way of football and then just let them go. With the ones that can't obviously do it. We are going down, not seeing anything to convince me otherwise this season. That's why I've still got the opinion we are going down as well, because we're not doing enough. Neil has put, we were shocking at both ends on the pitch then, Lewis. At least we're harder to score against now. Yeah, back then against QPR we were shocking both ends, but the thing is though, these group of players, can they do it? If we can't beat teams around us in the Championship, there's no way we're going to go at home against Leeds and get points. If we go to Hull and win, then you're putting in a statement, and then the players will have so much confidence going into the Leeds game thinking, yes, we can definitely get something at home against them. But it will be tough. It'd be massively tough because they're going for the title. Carabao Cup final today. It is indeed. Do we think Liverpool are just going to win, or do we think Newcastle are going to get their first major trophy in how it's got to be years now, isn't it? I don't think Newcastle haven't won a major trophy in my lifetime, so it's been a very long time. Let's have your score predictions for the Carabao Cup final day in the live chat. Let me know what your scores are for that game. I reckon Liverpool are going to win. I think there's too much for them, too much for Newcastle to handle. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 Liverpool win for the cup final today. Look, we are going to look back at certain decisions and look at selling Joe Taylor. I know we don't know for sure, but I believe he would have scored the chances Adebayo would have had. And then who knows? I honestly felt Matt Bloomfield should have had the opportunity to actually see Joe Taylor in training and then be allowed to say, yeah, let him go. But the fact that we got rid of Joe Taylor before Matt arrived really annoyed me, because I felt Joe Taylor might have suited Matt Bloomfield's style of football, in fact. So that really did frustrate me that we just didn't give him the opportunity. Danny, you've put you really want Newcastle to win. Mick has put 2-0 to Liverpool. Hopefully it's an entertaining cup final. I don't want it to be done and dusted after 10 minutes. Excuse me. Yeah, as I was saying, I do want Newcastle to proper give it a go, because every time Newcastle get to a final, they kind of fold under the pressure a little bit. They get really nervous. I know there's so much pressure because the whole city has gone down to London. like they do travel in their numbers, and they finally do want to win a major trophy. And I also do want Eddie Howe, who is a English manager, to do well, because let's be honest, the managers in England, especially the English ones, at the top end, don't do enough. Like, there's not enough. They're not winning enough trophies. They're not getting the opportunities to manage the bigger teams. So it is a real shame. Neil has put, if we go down, would you really want to keep all the players who have a double relegation on their CV? Exactly. I don't want to keep any of them. I'd rather they all go. Just get rid of as many as you can. I know we're not going to get rid of all of them. Obviously, we're going to keep the ones from this season. I mean, the new signings in particular, so the likes of Ali, Asgard. I like to think McGuinness will stay. He's still young. There's still many years in it. And he might be looking at it thinking, right, one more year in League One and then I'll go straight back up to the Championship. He might look at it like that. I like to think next year, if we do go down, we should be right up there. But after what happened this year, I've got a load of doubts. It all depends for me how many players leave the football club. If loads of people leave, then I'll have more confidence that we can go straight back up. But unless we get rid of them, then I might have the same feelings which I had at the start of this season, which was just a top 10 finish. And loads of people came at me at the start of the season saying, Lewis, you're not ambitious enough. Lewis, you need to be a lot more confident. I wasn't, because we just didn't sign enough players through the door. I can only see the likes of Clark. To be fair, I feel like Clark, if he was to stay, I wouldn't be disappointed by that. Like Clark this year, 8 goal contributions in the midfield. I don't think Clark's been bad this year. I think he's in the top 3 ranked players, I would say. So I think in League One as well, he would also just smash it. If he's doing what he's doing in the Championship now, in a very poor Luton team, imagine what he can do in a League One side that's probably going to be pushing at the top end. And if we are at the bottom end, I'm not going to be happy. You think I've been ranting all season. Trust me, you're going to see some ranting next year if we are bottom end of League One, that's for sure. Because I will not be happy. But League One's tough. I don't want to go in that division. So many clubs are going to be up there this season. Well, if the ones that don't go up this year, they're going to be up there next year. Huddersfield, Barnsley, Peterborough. You've got Reading. You've got Huddersfield. Wickham, if they want to put more money into the football club, because now they've got rich owners apparently. Charlton, if they don't go up. Wrexham, Stockport. Of course, Birmingham are going to win promotion. So, and then you might have like an outsider looking in. Well, not an outsider, but you might have a team that's not been mentioned sneak in out of nowhere. So it's tough. And don't forget the teams that also go down with us. So if Plymouth go down, I expect Plymouth to be up there. If Cardiff go down, I expect Cardiff to also be up there. So there's going to be so many teams competing to try and win those 3 promotion spots. It's not going to be easy. Let's recall Pelly. Come on, the Magpies. Pelly, did he play against Rotherham yesterday? I didn't hear anything. He's apparently having an okay loan spell. Let's have a quick look. Did he play yesterday? I know Pebble did. And Pebble got the goal for Chesterfield in their win against Notts County. Let's have a quick look. Pelly. Right. Matches. So he did play yesterday. Didn't look like he had a good game. Played in the 1-1 draw against Rotherham, against Exeter. He's played 8 times so far for Rotherham. Not doing too bad. Fair play to him. Did you know Tom Holmes, who we've sent out on loan to Belgium, by the way, isn't actually playing? It's actually mental. He's played 1 game. The whole point of him going to Belgium was to play games of football. But he keeps being on the bench. Like, when you look at his matches, he's only featured in 4 matchday squads since the start of Feb. and he's only played 25 minutes. He's gone to Belgium to play football and he's not even playing football. So that's strange in itself. But isn't it nice to actually have defenders back from injury, by the way? We've got Burke, Cal Naismith, who were on the bench. We also had Mans Anderson, that was also fit and available. We're then going to get Tedder Menchie come back soon. So we're going to have fit defenders. It's crazy. This is like unheard of. In about 2 years, we've never had fit defenders. And now we're going to have fit defenders. But right now, the problem isn't conceding goals, it's scoring goals. And then Brown, he gets injured for having a strike at goal. I can't believe he got yellow carded for that. I think it's absolutely delusional by the ref. How can you get booked for having an attempted volley at goal? Yes, the player might got there first, but the referee must use some common sense here. Brown has not mean to hurt the player. He's got his eyes for the ball, he's setting himself up, he's waiting for the ball to drop on his foot, and the player maybe just nips in just in front of him and he catches him. It's nothing more than a foul, at the most. But a yellow card, and the impact was so hard on Brown, he's hurt his foot. His foot's hurt. So he's had to come off after, 5-10 minutes yesterday. That's a real shame. Because I do think Morris was meant to be coming off yesterday. I think it was meant to be Nordas for Morris. But because Brown got the injury, Nordas ended up replacing Brown. So that's a shame, really. And I didn't know if Ali was going to go up top as well. I was unsure. But, yeah. Crazy times. Danny, you've put, still don't understand why Holmes was sent out on loan when he was playing almost every game for us. I think it was because Holmes, wasn't going to play. And I think out of all the defenders which we've got, he's probably not as good as the others. I would have let Mans Anderson leave the football club, if I'm being honest with you, but we've decided to keep him. The boat has sailed with Pelly. I think he's a Luton legend, but we can't live in the past. But look where it's got us now. To be fair, Pelly's done. Unfortunately, I think we've seen the last of Pelly, which is a shame really, because I wanted him to have a proper send-off, and he's not going to get that. And I guess, that's football. But he's had so many great years in a Luton shirt. Fingers crossed. He goes on to have, a couple more good years left in his career. Peter has put, "Hi Lewis, any thoughts on Lockyer still playing next season for us?" I think he's still recovering from his ankle injury. But then he's going to do his rehab in the summer. I think in League One he might actually have a chance of playing for us. But I don't know. He's still got to do his checks and stuff. He might actually play in pre-season, which is crazy in itself. But I'm going to feel uncomfortable watching him play regardless of what league we are in. Every time he goes up for a header, I'll be scared that, he's going to just not get back up. Which is a real shame because I don't really want to feel like that watching a game of football. But, Tom believes he can still play. Gamer Boy has put, "Do you ever want to see Adebayo in a Luton shirt again?" If I'm being honest with you, he doesn't deserve to start the next game, that's for sure. I wouldn't play him against Hull. The thing is with Elijah, we all know it's a confidence thing, but it's getting to the point when it's just costing us too much. But I would let him go in the summer. This year it's just not been good enough. Last year it was painful waiting for that first goal, but then once he got it, it was amazing. The year before that was the exact same. This has happened 3 years in a row now. So it's time to make a change. It's time to, stop playing him. Morris in League One. Again, I would personally get rid, but he hasn't been too bad. But I don't know if he can play Matt Bloomfield's system. This is the thing. If Matt Bloomfield feels like he can play his system, then you might as well keep Morris in League One because I do think he will score. But if he doesn't, then get rid. Matt Bloomfield needs to be allowed to get rid of these players. And also, Matt Bloomfield is going to be managing for at least for the first 6 months in the next season. He's going to have a horrific start if he gets sacked. So we're keeping him. because we see him as a long-term manager, but we might have to take a couple of steps backwards in order to go a couple of steps forward. With Lockyer playing, wouldn't it be like signing an injured player? With Lockyer playing, wouldn't it be like signing an injured player if he's risking his life? Okay. So Neil's put, I would rather see him coaching, which is fair enough. I also feel the same way, but he thinks he can play football still, which I find mental after what's happened to him, but fair play. Can't wait for a new striker next year. I think Nordas is going to be the new striker. I do think we are going to sign one other striker as well, but I don't know who it's going to be. And Richard Coney, by the way, imagine if we got him. Why did Wickham not let us have him? Flipping the amount of money we were putting in for him as well. And he's not going to go. It doesn't look like Wickham are going to get promoted. I feel like they're gonna drop off, and they've already started to drop off, by the way. And I knew they would. I just knew they just wouldn't keep it all together. I felt like they hired the wrong manager. Don't know why they've gone with the caretaker boss at Sunderland. Strange decision. But yeah, Richard Coney, I wish we got him, but unable to. What do you think of Matt Bloomfield? I think he will come good in the end, if I'm being honest with you. I think he will, be a good, person here. But he needs to get given the opportunity, the time to allow players to leave the football club. It's a pain that the teams around us are picking up. Derby have 3 wins and Cardiff 1. It's so frustrating, but like I keep telling people who I speak to, we're in control still. If we win our games, then, happy days. We stay up. So we've just got to focus on us. We've got to play the teams around us in the Championship still. We've still got to play against Hull. Still got to play against Derby. Still got to play against Stoke. We beat those teams. You stand a really good chance. So it's just piles on more pressure on us. Is Kone out of contract at the end of the season? He's not out of contract at the end of this season. He's out of contract at the end of next year. So in the summer, he would only have 12 months left on his contract. Matt is just a pound shot Rob Edwards. I massively disagree. And if you cannot see how much he's improved the Luton side, then that's on you. We were terrible under Rob. He's not. The thing is, he's media trained, so he's going to give you the same answers. But I just don't know what people expect with him, because he's been given an awful position at Luton, where the squad's mentality is all over the place. They've given up, and he's had to, try and lift the group of players as much as he can. He's more experienced than Rob Edwards was as well when we hired him. He's been successful at 2 clubs, in Colchester and Wickham. I think he'll come good, but people are judging him now. Wait until he's got his own players and then judge him and see what he can do. But we ain't going to see that until next year. What do we think of Thomas Kaminski's kicking yesterday? There was 1 or 2 good passes where he actually beat the press, but then some of them, they just weren't straight, were they? I find it mental, by the way, that that a goalkeeper can't kick straight. Honestly, Thomas Kaminski, he's kicking. He's such a good shot stopper, but wow, anything else he can't do. He just struggles to do. Do the board need to move on? No. The board have made mistakes. They deserve the opportunity to correct those mistakes. I think a lot of people are very short-sighted. People go like, but they've made so many mistakes recently. But look at what they've done throughout the whole time in charge of Luton. They've made more correct decisions than wrong decisions. They deserve the opportunity to, correct those. And if I'm being honest with you, modern day ownership, I don't like it. I hate it. Do I really want owners that have no connection to Luton in charge of my football club. No, I don't want that ever. So I rather the board stay and just hire people that can make the correct decisions. But you know, they've got to undo the mistakes they've made. Right. How many chances do we need? I know, so many. The game could have gone on for another 15 more minutes. I don't think we would have scored. Bloomfield is miles better, and you can see that in the way we are playing now. We are playing a lot better now. I think he's improved a lot of stats. He's made us really much more difficult to score against. He's also improved the amount of times we enter the box, because under Edwards we wasn't doing it enough, and we now enter the final third a lot more. We're making more final third passes, and if you're doing those two stats correct, you're more likely going to score a goal. And yesterday proved that as well, because the amount of times we were creating chances and we were just unable to score. Just got to figure it out, that final little bit. Kaminsky's kicking makes me nervous. He does as well. He just makes me nervous now when I'm watching him play. Can you think of 3 decent strikers we would like to see at Luton? The thing is, in the Championship, there ain't many decent strikers this year. You look, there's a lot of more of the wide attacking players scoring the goals compared to the strikers. But if we're going to talk, I think we're going to have to look at League One for strikers. I would go with Richard Kone. I need to have a look at all the players before answering that question, because I can't even think of 3 strikers on the top of my head this Sunday morning. I'm still not awake. Sorry, Neil. You know, I'm going to make a video in the summer of players I would like Luton to sign, and I'll just pick out a couple. There's definitely 1 or 2. There's a player called Ethan Galbraith who plays for Leyton Orient. He's not a striker, but he's a midfielder who can also play as a right back, a right attacking player, and also in the middle. Really, really good player, and he's having a great season for Leyton Orient, and I think he's out of contract in the summer. And I've already spoken about him on a video, so I wouldn't mind signing him. I actually wanted Luton to sign Carl Joseph, who played for Blackpool, but then Hull City signed him in the January transfer window. They signed him for 2.5 million. So I'm gutted that we didn't get that, because I felt Carl Joseph was a typical Luton player. Where is Shea? Is he injured? No, he's just not getting picked ahead of Thomas and Tim Krul. Do you think a new keeper needs to come in next season to replace Kaminsky? Yes, I think the goalkeeper department needs to be looked at completely, in my opinion. I don't think we should keep Thomas for next year. He's had a poor season, and he's not kept us in many games this year, like some people have said. People have been looking at last season and thinking, yeah, but look what he did last year. He stopped us losing 7-0. Great. We still lost, you know. We still lost so many games. We still conceded so many goals. I think my dad mentioned this to me. He's conceded over 100 and something goals in 2 years, which is just insane. Let me have a quick look. He's conceded this season, Championship. So we've conceded 60 this year. Last year in the Premier League, we conceded... Let's have a quick look. So 60... Wow. So 15, about 100. He's conceded 145 goals in 2 years. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. I know our defence has been really bad, but you can't have a goalkeeper that's conceded over 140 goals in your team for next year. And we're likely going to concede a couple more goals from now until the end of the year. You can't keep that. Definitely can't. So yeah, we're going to need to sort the goalkeeper department out. We can't have 3 senior goalkeepers at the football club. You need 2 senior goalkeepers and then have 1 up-and-coming goalkeeper. That's mental. Right. Neil has put, it's not 145. He was suspended for a few games. He was only red carded for the game against Preston, which we conceded 1. So 144. That was it. The rest he's been a part of every single league game, apart from that. So yeah, 144 goals, absolutely mental. What are your thoughts on what Nathan Jones has done at Charlton? Nathan has done what Nathan does. Nathan is a top quality manager. And I'm not having any slander about that man because I love that man. For me, he's a better manager than Edwards. Always was. The passion he has for football is just insane. It's a shame, really, that he didn't take us to the Premier League. But I think the story is done with him in Luton. He might come back one day and be like a head of recruitment or like work in the scouting department, a bit like what David Pleat does nowadays. But what he's doing at Charlton is just amazing. And I made like a TikTok in November because loads of Charlton fans wanted Nathan Jones sacked. And I was just like, give this guy time. Let him have a full season and he will improve you. And then after I made that TikTok, Charlton went on a fantastic run of form and they haven't stopped going. You know, they've kept going that train. They keep winning games of football. Their home form is amazing. They had a good transfer window. Like, I looked at the players they were bringing in and I thought, wow, they're signing some good players here. And they're going to be up there. Luke Berry's doing well. So, yeah, he's just doing great. And I don't want him to walk away with a 1-0 away win against us. You know, fist pumping the away end. Because I don't think I can take that. But he's a good manager. I love having him at Luton. He gave me some fantastic memories and he is my favourite Luton manager right now. Matt Bloomfield might replace him if he is successful. Who do you think should come in replace of Thomas Kaminski? I'm going to do all these right now. I don't have the list of players. Literally, I've just got my phone. Unless I start Googling, players which I like. I want to be able to give you these answers in confidence. I can't think of names from my head. So what I'll do is I'll have in the summer I start doing replacement videos. Who would I replace Thomas Kaminski with and stuff like that? Who would I replace Elijah Alabea with? And then I'll give you a list of players which I would replace certain players with. And I think that would be so much better rather than me give you an answer right now which I can't really give you without doing some proper research. I want to be able to give you some real conviction in my answers. So I will, make a video. It'll be a summer video, I think. Lots of summer videos. Keep you guys entertained because the summer, it's a long summer without football. Right now, it's alright because there's football going on. You can still talk about it. But in the summer, for someone who makes content, it can be challenging. It can be really, really challenging. So I do a little series in the summer talking about players I would replace. What do you think of Asgard missing the 2 sitters? He's got to score at least one of them. He has got to score one of them. The first one, I can understand missing it because he had a player right behind him and it might have put him off. I don't know how he got it over the bar. But the second one, he needed to put either side of the goalkeeper, but he hit it straight at the goalkeeper, which was so frustrating. I think Nathan Jones has too much respect from Luton to go fist pumping his chest if they did beat Luton. Fair enough. That would be nice of him. You know what he's like. He'd probably just run into the away end knowing him. But I know there's going to be Luton fans out there that will just give him a load of stick, which is going to happen regardless. So he might respond to that and go, just fist pump like he does and just goes absolutely crazy. Who's your favourite player that plays for Luton right now? Oh God, I'm not a keen fan of some of them. I have to admit. Favourite Luton player right now? Oh God, I'd go with Alfie. I do think his quality, despite recent performances, haven't been good enough. So I go with Alfie Doughty. Loving the new setup, by the way, Lewis. Thank you. I'm enjoying it as well. I need to add a couple more scarves over there. I'm waiting for... So, the scarves behind... I have told the story before. But basically, The reason why I've got Verona, Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Sporting Lisbon, which you can't see because there's a graphic cover in it, is because it's all the stadiums I've been abroad and the teams I've watched abroad. I need to add 3 more teams. I need to add a Roma one, a New York Red Bull, and also a Benfica one as well. And then I've completed the collection. Make a video in the summer talking about your different Luton memories, like favourite game you've been to, first game you went to, loudest game. I could do that. That could definitely be a video idea. I think that video would suit like a more Q&A style. So what I'll do is I will ask questions for a Q&A for the summer, and then I'll give you guys all the ability to ask me the questions, and then I'll just pick out the best ones from the questions being asked, and then I'll turn it into like a Q&A video, and then I'll be able to answer these questions rather than just doing one single video. I could just do like a combination of all the questions into one video. Which home games that you have been or seen have the best atmosphere? Every time I go to Portsmouth, by the way, it's always a great atmosphere. I need to get a drink. Yeah, Portsmouth, definitely one of the best I've been to. I want to go to Leeds, but I haven't had the opportunity yet. It always falls on a midweek, which is so frustrating. So Portsmouth, definitely. Best atmosphere. Trying to think now. It's been so long where I've actually gone to a game and I've gone, actually, wow. Like, the atmosphere has been really good. Home games, though. Ooh, home games, which have been good atmosphere. Watford at home was great. Both times we played against Watford was good. It's always, the atmosphere in a derby game is always great. I think in a game where Luton need to win, that's normally when the atmosphere is really good. The draws are not good enough, especially when we got Portsmouth and Derby winning. 100% agree, but Portsmouth lost against Preston yesterday, which was good. I don't think Portsmouth are going down. I think they're going to be still in the mix of it right now, but I think they're going to have more than enough to stay up this season. A Q&A sounds good. Yeah, I think a Q&A would be a lot better. Should Luton have their own walkout song that the fans can sing along to? I keep seeing this being debated on social media, and the song that keeps appearing is "Bring Me Sunshine" by Eric Morecambe. No, it's such an old song, and it doesn't get the modern. Like, for me, I do find it a cringy song. I don't find it enjoyable to sing. I don't sing it, and I feel like I won't be the only younger fan that also has the same opinion on it. I think we don't need a particular walkout song like, what Arsenal have. It'd be nice to have one, but there's got to be a reason for it. There's got to have some real meaning. Like, we've got some artists out there who are Luton fans, so it's an opportunity for them to kind of create one, really. But yeah, it's got to make sense. It can't be cringy. I feel like it's got to get everyone going in the stadium, but right now it's kind of just walkout music, isn't it? Which we're just listening to, and it's just it's not even R&B. What is it? It's like house music, drum and bass to get everyone pumped up and going. But yeah, I do think, I wouldn't be against someone creating a new song for a walkout. Coventry's the best I've heard. I thought Coventry's was rubbish though. When I was listening to Coventry's one at the stadium, half the stadium wasn't even singing it. You know what I mean? It didn't really make sense. I think the best one I've heard is the Hibs in Scotland. Like Hibs, Hibernian. When they beat Hearts the other day, the whole stadium sang the song. I can't remember what the song is, but it's definitely their club song. And it's so loud. They all get up for it, and I've never heard it like that before. I also like the Bubbles one by West Ham. I don't know how it all came about, but the West, Forever Blowing Bubbles is a good one. But Coventry's, they didn't all sing it. So when I was at the stadium, I was like, what are they? I couldn't work out what they were singing. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? I've met a lot of famous footballers and pundits, to be fair, so it really all depends. Who would you class as the most famous one out of the ones I've met? Because I've met all the Sky pundits and stuff. I've met Roy Keane. Probably Roy Keane's probably the most famous person I've met. I'm trying to think, is there anyone more famous than Roy Keane I've met? There probably is. I just can't think of any right now. Trying to think, actually, who's the most famous? I can't think right now. It's too early in the morning. We will get a song with Power Court. Potentially. Maybe. I'm trying to think who's the famous person I've ever met. Roy Keane is the one I've met. I actually have a funny story. Roy Keane asked me to make him a cup of tea because he thought I was an assistant that made teas. I weren't. I had to say no to him, which I was really scared to because I didn't know if he was going to shout in my face. It was actually lovely about it, I wanted him to sign something which I had. Cause my granddad's a Manchester United fan. Don't ask why. I don't understand why he's a Manchester United fan. He's on my mum's side, but he likes Manchester United. But I couldn't get him to sign what I had of it. I've met Laura Woods, the TV presenter. Very nice in person. The only reason why I'm saying that is because my girlfriend is not here, so I can get away with it. George, you've put, what do you actually think of Adebayo this season? Would you sell him at the end of the year? Yeah. I just don't think you can have a striker that keeps missing chances every single year. The last 3 years now, it's just been a confidence thing with him. We're just waiting for a ball to come off his backside, and then he starts firing again. We can't keep having that. We just can't afford to keep, carrying someone who's just low in confidence all the time. His body language as well is all off. I think we need a complete reset with him and just say goodbye. He's just not doing it. If a player's not doing it week in, week out, then we need to say goodbye to him. We can't keep carrying players. It's not good enough. Not for majority of the season. It's alright if it's only happening for a couple of games, but not when it's happening for large parts of the season. Morris and Adebayo need to go. I wouldn't be against it. What do you think should happen at the Kenny once we move to Power Court? Should it be demolished or remain as a local landmark? Could it be used for Sunday League teams? It's up to the council really, isn't it? Because the council own the stadium. I think the council are going to turn it into flats. I really do. We all know Luton's very overpopulated, so I can just see it being moved to flats. I do think it should be used for local kids football. It should be used in some capacity for for the community in a sports way, rather than be smashed up for flats. But I reckon it's going to be smashed up for flats. The local residents don't like it, so they'll be all for it. So I reckon, it'd be definitely used for flats. George, you've asked who I would replace Adebayo with. I've already mentioned this already in the stream, but I can't give you a list of names. It's too early in the morning. I haven't really been looking as well, if I'm being honest with you. But in the summer, what I would do is I will give you a list of players. I'll do my research. There's no one screaming out to me. Until I do my research, until I look at what players have done this year, what players have done in the past, then I will say these players. There's probably loads of players I can possibly think of if I actually focus hard for the next 5 to 10 minutes. But as I'm live, I can't think of any straight off my top of my head like that. So I will, in the summer, make these videos where I give you players I think we should sign. Thanks, Lewis. Have a good day. Comedy Hatters. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Anyone who's watching as well, please drop a like on today's stream. The more likes I get on the streams, the better. The video just reaches out to more people. More people will join in and watch me. So yeah, smash that like button. Much appreciated. I am going to be live streaming for another 5 more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to go. This one's going to be a lot shorter stream. Because we are going into the international break, I'm thinking of doing a couple of live streams during the international break. I don't know where England play, actually. So let me see where England play in their next game. I might do an England watch-along, if you guys fancy coming along watching it. Because I know England games are not the most entertaining. And watch Thomas Tuchel's first England game. So let's have a quick look when the first England game is. If it's on Friday, I can't do it. 21st. It's a Friday. I might be able to do it. It's England versus Albania. I might be able to do a watch along. I am going to the theatre on Friday, so I don't know if I'll be back in time for it. But for the second England game, I'll do a watch along for it, I think. Yeah, why not? Do a couple of live streams throughout the throughout the international break. Was there supposed to be a live stream the Friday just gone? Yes, there was, but I decided against it. I had a few technical issues. Also, I live next to a pub, which is basically had a live disco on Friday, and the music was so loud. And I mean, like, my mic was picking it up. And then I was also dog sitting as well, so my dog, it wasn't my dog, it's my partner's mum's dog. But the dog was like sat here, and it was getting like upset with the loud noise, and I just felt really bad if I was live streaming it, and it was kind of scared. So I decided against it. It just didn't really make sense, and I don't want my videos and live streams to get copyrighted, so I've got to be careful. So yeah, I decided against it. I found out quite late on Friday that there was a live disco, and I was like, oh no. So I kind of was against it, and plus, yeah, I just didn't feel like it was the right decision to go. So I went against it. That's why I didn't advertise it. What I'll do is I always will advertise my streams like on a post. So if you see like so on YouTube I can create a post, and basically I'll have like the thumbnail and stuff. If I've created a post with a thumbnail and you see I'm live streaming on a particular day at a certain time, and I'm doing a watch along or I'm doing this type of live stream, you will, when I've done that, I'm 100% live streaming. There's like 100% guarantee there. However, I might say I'm live streaming, but then don't back it up with the other stuff. So yeah, I will always put a post up, 100%. But that's bad on me though. I said I was going to do it on Friday, and then I changed my mind, but that was due to stuff out of my control really. Neil has put, what parts of the Kenny would you like to see moved to Power Court? The scoreboard or the clock in the corner? What happened to the clock in the corner? Where did it go? I don't want the scoreboard. We need to completely modernise it. Of course, keep certain things, but I do think it needs a complete reset. Let's be honest. I wouldn't really keep any parts. I like to take my seat home. That'd be nice, and just like have my seat drilled to the wall. That'd be quite cool. Peter, you've put, really good to see your channel doing well, Lewis. Been watching you for years, and it's good to see where it's gone now. Thank you, mate. Hopefully it just keeps doing really, really well, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. I've noticed the live streams, more people are tuning in. Much appreciated. There's probably just people just listening to me talking and not actually asking any questions, which is completely fine. But yeah, thank you for anyone who's watching. Much appreciated. If you can smash that like button as well, that helps. Smashing the like button always helps. But yeah, the channel's doing really well, to be fair. Wish it could grow a little bit more at a more faster rate, but it's natural progression. I can't force people to subscribe. But yeah, hopefully one day I get to do this on a more full-time basis, and we can have like a proper setup. I can move into like a studio. Everything, like just keep upgrading. But yeah, hopefully one day it'll get there really soon. Do you think Alfie Doughty will leave in the summer? If we go down, yeah, I do. I don't think he's playing League One football next year. And I might end the live stream there, guys, because I do need to head out. I've got a busy day. I'm going to go to the gym and then watch 4 games of football. I also need to do my 5 things which we learned from the game against Borough, which I need to think of. But yeah, much appreciated everyone who's tuned in for this live stream. Danny's put, would you go to West Ham away? Yes, 100%. George, would you be angry or disappointed if we get relegated? I'll be both. I'll be angry and disappointed if we got relegated. If you don't mind me asking, do you make money off YouTube? Yes, I do. But it's nothing major. Don't worry about it. It's nothing like mental. But yeah, everyone makes money off YouTube. Well, I say everyone. Most people earn money off YouTube. A lot of it's pennies, a lot of it's loads of money. But yeah. Right, that's how I am going to end today's live stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed the last hour. I know it's a little bit upsetting that we didn't get the 3 points yesterday against Borough. But look, we've got 2 weeks now of international break. Fingers crossed for the game against Hull. You know, we go and beat them. It's massive, massive, massive game. So fingers crossed we get the 3 points there. But thank you for everyone who's tuned in to watch me this morning. Have a great Sunday. And I will advertise the live stream next week at some point. I'll definitely do one next week and figure out what to talk about. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And I'll see you all very soon.